love to protect life. This principle is immortalized in our Declaration of Independence, where Thomas Jefferson famously declared that all men are created equal and endowed with human natural rights to their life, their liberty, and their pursuit of happiness. When we protect life, we do it by debating issues like abortion and foreign policy. Now, many war hawks of all political parties have been proclaiming that we cannot leave Afghanistan, that oil will become ridiculously expensive, that we must stay. Would it be a mistake for the United States to withdraw from Afghanistan in 2014? Absolutely. We need to leave far sooner than that. The truth is, this war is costing us far too much in both blood and treasure. It is illegal under both our law and international law, and it has unintended consequences that will haunt us for years to come. Let's go to my first point. This war is costing us a lot of life and a lot of money. According to an article written on October 17th of 2011 in the Christian Science Monitor, the war on terror has cost us $4 trillion adjusted for inflation. At a time when our national debt is at $15.6 trillion, more than 100% of our gross domestic product, we cannot afford to continue on this path. Moreover, that $4 trillion is more than the inflation-adjusted cost of World War II. It amounts to nearly $3,000 every second. But this cost of money is insignificant compared to the lives we've lost. Over the course of the war on terror, 4,480 American lives have been lost. These are 4,000 Americans who will never get to tell their loved ones, hello again. Never get to say the pledge to the flag they were willing to give their lives for. Additionally, another 32,000 have been wounded, many losing limbs. So I ask you, are you willing to continue putting up with these costs in life? I say no. But my second point is, this war is illegal under both our law and the laws of the UN. Now, the United States Constitution is the highest law of our land. There is nothing that rules more over our American ideals than our Constitution. But according to Article 1, Section 8, subsection 11 of the United States Constitution, we cannot go to war without a declaration of war by Congress. Congress has failed to pass a declaration since World War II. Additionally, the UN prohibits aggressive wars. The United States committed the invasion of the war in Afghanistan. We are flaunting one of our very basic principles, the rule of law. We go over telling them that we are promoting democracy, that we want freedom for them, but while being hypocrites and denying the rule of law in our own nation. And that's been my third point, that it has unintended consequences. Blowback is defined by the CIA as the unintended consequences of foreign operations. The first example of this was seen in 1953 in Iran, when we overthrew the democratically elected government to help British oil interests. In 1979, the government we put in place, called the Shah, was overthrown by a rebellious group, and they took American hostages that were held for nearly a year and a half under Jimmy Carter's presidency. To combat this new government that was very anti-American, we armed a force called the Mujahideen, made up of Saddam Hussein's forces and Osama bin Laden's Al-Qaeda. These forces were intended to fight against Iran and the Soviet Union, but after they fell, both of these groups turned very anti-American and led to the tragic attack on September 11th. Now, I ask you to consider the golden rule. What would you do if you were, say, a father or a mother living in Afghanistan? You weren't a terrorist, you were simply a person trying to live out your life. But, let's say one day, somebody, perhaps your son, was killed by American forces. You would think, how could you do this? I never did anything to you. You guys come over here claiming you're protecting our freedoms, that you are coming to help us escape tyranny, and yet you kill my son. And this is how terrorism starts. In the United States, we have the mentality that for every terrorist we kill, the problem is closer to ending. The opposite is true. For every terrorist we kill, 10 more people are given a grudge against the United States. So in conclusion, I say the war in Afghanistan has cost us far too much money and life. It has flaunted the principle of the rule of law, and it has unintended consequences that will haunt us for years to come. Thank you.